Everyone wanted to know from Philip, what would you plant with that magnolia tree? And this is what he reached for, the three-piece, very timeless Perpetuals collection. Coral bell, so cheerful, long-lasting spikes, where you get color starting in early spring. And then for how long, Philip?
These bloom all the way until frost, and what I love about these, it looks like pink baby's breath. Regular coral bells bloom the one time, but even after the old blooms are on here, you don't have to deadhead it because they are still pink.
Yes.
Which is just a really great look. But the foliage, I mean, the closer you get to it, it's got this window pane foliage and all of these blooms. This is the real McCoy right here. And by the way, again, because they never stop blooming, you can pluck them, use them in arrangements. There's one stem right there that I just picked. If I've got hydrangeas, I form a big core of hydrangeas. I stick these through the hydrangea blossoms to have. And these dry like this. You can also spray with hairspray and use them in your dried arrangements. But the berry timeless, when we first brought it on, it blew out the door. People love it. If you've got an area, say a boring bed of Pachysandra, and all you got is Pachysandra and hostas and ferns. You know, the shade areas, I enjoy the shade areas,
so funny
but I want some color.
My mom and I were just talking yesterday about Pachysandra, and she said, because they have some growing, she said, well, we wanted to add some to this bed. And she said they went to their kind of like a larger store chain area, and she said that Pachysandra was so expensive. She was like, we just left, we didn't get any. But they need to be able to bulk up those beds. Well, what a beautiful way to do it, because I love the density of the foliage and then how almost ethereal these little spikes are.
They're really beautiful.
They're
so
beautiful.
This is our one shade perennial in this show. And we don't have that many shade perennials at all. But to have a coral bell that blooms all season long, and if you do have an established Pachysandra bed, what you can do is plant these right in the Pachysandra bed because these come up above it. This will spice it up. Plant it with your hostas. Plant it with your ferns. But again, a way to have where you would normally plant impatiens, you have to plant those every year. This comes back every year. Mine are in containers that line my pathway in the shady front garden. And I put mine in blue pots because I'm kind of fancy.
And then what if you put it in the ground?
They're
How far apart would you space these?
I plant these about 2.5 feet apart because they're nice and rounded. They look more beautiful that way. And the next image will show you how rounded they are, but they've got that, it looks like leaded glass, window pane leaves on these, but the blooms stick up high above it.
That almost looks like a designer in the container. It almost looked like you put two different plants in one because of the way the foliage was sort of spilling about the edges.
They don't look like that. They go together, but it's that baby's breath look.
By the way, the price, the easy pay both go away at the end of the day. You're saving $7 off the QVC price here. I want to give you a look.
You get 3.
Yes.
Look.
This is how they show up at the door.
This is the way they show up. You can see the foliage. It hasn't started to bloom yet, but it will start blooming. And this is a nice, big, robust plant. It's not some little twig. And that's the way it's going to come. And
how long?
By the end of the summer, yours can be like this, but it'll start blooming straight away. This is what they do. Then, early next season, it goes to this size. This is what it does. It forms a nice, dense clump. They're somewhat woody, but it's that nice, airy look. If you like the look of baby's breath, and if you like to make flower arrangements, you know, this gives you that look for your flower arrangements. You know, I'm always, you can find the daisy flowers all the time, but you need things like this. And it's great to be able to cut your own flowers the same way it is to pick your own tomatoes. 3
of them for $32.48. That's at a sale price, which goes away at the end of the day. So does your easy payment of $812. And then with free shipping and handling, M53269. Philip, we had to bring back something that we saw earlier in the show. It is our one day only, and over 2,000 of these collections have been sold. Brand new today, our Cottage Farms 4-piece cream of the crop